Just know that I love you all, and that's why I do that every time. Never get tired of listening to that intro. So, I believe this is the first game I ever played on the PlayStation in my own home. I'm not counting going to, like, a KB Toys or a Babbage's or something and finding a demo kiosk. That's very different. But I love this game so much in the arcade that obviously I was going to play it on a home console that was able to read it on a CD, which just sounded great. So, this version of this game actually does not have any official speedrun categories, but to just show off just how absurd this game is, I decided to submit the category that is dubbed Get Real, because that actually is the name of the hardest difficulty. It's really dumb, and by that I don't mean the AI is dumb, I mean actually, like, the difficulty just gets completely bonkers here, and it's one that could actually be really obnoxious to try to play through one time. Of course, being it's an arcade game, my goal is always going to be a 1cc. But that could be a challenge because they have insanely good defense here. So we're just going to hope to plow through it. Now, up until this run this week, I had been playing quite a bit of Sean and having a good amount of luck with him. And he was originally who I was going to play today. I then tried a Brett run, and it was like a little bit faster, but that's just because I play Brett more, and I understand what he's all about in this game. Like, he's definitely my main when playing this game. Taker is also the classic, like, just super good character. Don't really want to play him, though, because while he is incredibly efficient, he's also slow. I prefer to play as the clown. So we're going to take Doink. Doink has very good speed strats, even for the hardest difficulty. WWF Championship will be selected at 3, 2, 1, go. Also, I gotta give props to, I see him in chat there, I gotta give props to Outworld for the first time I ever ran the arcade version of this in a marathon. I had character bid war as an incentive, and he was like the last person that donated to it and donated towards Doink, and it was hilarious. Like, that run was really good, too. So, as I've shown before, there's an infinite that works in the arcade version with both Luger and Doink, and it works on here as well, but I have a much harder time getting it with Luger as opposed to Doink, whereas Doink I can get it pretty consistently. Let's say that as I drop it. Just going to bring the hammer down. Did it for David TKI. Yeah, I'm going to say it straight away right now. I really don't like talking about that kind of stuff when it comes to me playing wrestling games, so I'm just going to shut that down immediately. But I appreciate your interest nonetheless. Do something. Yeah, I thought you'd do that. What a whiff punish. A bit of unfortunate there. I definitely had some inputs, but the game just kind of ate them and I got destroyed. There we go. Pretty solid first round. Didn't really like getting that perfect because that is going to raise the rank a little bit. We're going to be basically doing the same thing here. A couple of interesting things to know about some of the AI opponents. Brett and Razor are the two easiest to set up for the hammer combo because they take additional hit stun off this punch out of a grab. Okay. Also, any character block, what is it called? Push block is really, really good for setting this up. It's just such a dumb thing to have. But yeah, my original estimate for this was like 30 minutes, and with Doink I was getting like 15s and 16s, so I couldn't justify that anymore. I don't know why it's not rotating. There we go. There we go. Shema in the building. I will say, I think this version of the game is honestly very good. It's not quite arcade perfect. They did have to reduce the sprite size to condense, or like, to compensate for memory reasons. But it still plays really well. The music is mixing, which sucks. But some characters actually got rebalanced a little bit. Like, I think Yokozuna is actually way better here than he is in arcade. This is one example. Ring the bell! Ring the bell, damn it! I got greedy there. No big deal. Taker gave us the win anyway. Another weird thing about this, for the arcade version, you can fight 2 to 3 of the same character at a time. Like, you can end up fighting like 3 Doinks. I've had it happen before. Here, you will never see that happen. For a 1v2 match, it's always going to be at least two different characters. The only exception will be if you face your clone. Meant to grab there. Ah, boo. Still a really good strat, even when you drop it. And Yoko's light punch does a ton of damage. Bouncy, bouncy. Really? Okay. Doink actually does have some other really good tools. Out of grab, sometimes I'll switch it up and just do Joy Buzzer instead, which is insane. Because it also gives you this setup. And it does way more damage than that punch does. It's a little bit harder to do, but nothing too bad. If you could use that Joy Buzzer as a reversal, it would be getting real out of control, but that's not the life we live, unfortunately. There we go. It's also really easy to do out of a grab. It's just a quarter circle forward motion with a light punch, and you can buffer that from the start of the grab animation. So you can land it really, really quick before they get a chance to reverse. This is not good. They're definitely covering each other's backs here very, very well, and I had to be mindful of that. Yoko actually let me have that. I'm intrigued. That's not good. Oh, hey, he gave it to me. That'll work. One v2 does take some adjustment to get used to. Best thing I always advise for people that actually want to learn to play the game, if you're fighting 1v2, it's always best to get one out of the ring first. That way you can keep it 1v1. They are going to make that hard for you, but it's very doable. It just takes practice like anything else. Like so. Should be able to kill Brett from here, minus any drops. Got out of it, though. There we go. Doink's flying clothesline is also, like, really, really good. Like, the hitbox on this thing is just dumb. It hits a lot of things that it probably shouldn't. Like, I've definitely anti-aired with it before. Put the boots to him. Boo. You don't want them hitting each other with moves because they do a lot of reduced damage. Like, their moves against each other are just heavily, heavily scaled. You don't want that. Get off me, please. Do a combo for fun, shall we? Garbage. Fire punches is one of the best specials in the game. It's massively plus on hit to where I think you get like a free follow-up with it. And it's also really plus on block. Like, you can just go for his hip toss right after that. You generally just can't interrupt it. Good enough. Now we get to the 1v3s, where everything I said about 1v2 matches where you get them out of the ring is even more important here, because you just can't realistically fight 3 enemies at the same time on a difficulty this insane. So you do have to offer some cooperation. Hip tosses aren't supposed to be blockable. I don't know if players can do this, but the AI can frame perfect block on hip tosses, and it really sucks. It sucks for you. It's great for them. There's really not much you can do to stop it either. They decide to do it, they're just going to do it. Gotta be really, really mindful of my defense here. Yep, they're being awful. Get to the corner, it's a little bit easier. Luger's probably going to be the high AI here, I would imagine. There's always one character in the 1v3 who's going to be a way bigger problem than the other two. Like, it's like they just have, like, if you're comparing to like something like Smash Brothers, it's like one of them has 9 AI versus like a 4 and a 5. And that OTG is so strong. Thank you for the free hit. Should have been a free hit. Sure. What in the world? Luger just being a stain. Hey, who's laughing now? Didn't love that. Brett took like no damage from that. Yeah, like what is that about? Just getting like push blocks out of that trash? And he is just blocking everything. Ah, boo. Got what I wanted and it's still dropping. What is happening here? Somebody outside, please. Yep, that's a guaranteed combo. Chris Crazy thing about fire punches is if you land the first one, you can just mash light punch to get follow-ups after, which is why he was able to get 4 of those in a row for really, really good damage. Kind of sucks. Great if you're a Bam Bam main. Bring it down, ring the bell. Our second 1v3, there are a couple characters I wouldn't mind seeing, and I think we got pretty lucky. I really didn't want to see Yoko. Yoko tends to give me a lot of issues in 1v3s for some reason. Taker also can, but I'm not as bothered by him. That was gross. A lot of things that happened there. Come here, clown. It's your turn. Boo. Should be punishing that. Also, compared to the arcade version, Joy Buzzer is quite a bit safer on block here. I don't quite know why. It's a buff that Doink really didn't need. Put you back in the ground. Yeah, I wasn't reversing that. Not with that attitude, anyway. Vince telling it like it is. Still got the whoopee cushion, nice. Sure. Anybody gonna join me? Please? If you stay outside too long and no one comes out with you, then it starts to drain your health, and you definitely don't want that. This is really bad. I'm just gonna do Joy Buzzer until it'll let me anymore. Ooh, I guess it didn't last long. Oh my god. Sometimes you just gotta keep pressing it. This is annoying. Alright, Taker's coming out, good. Another slight downside of this version, you don't get any music. Like, the fact you don't hear music has nothing to do with, like, the game's not glitching, my console's not acting up, it just doesn't have any music. Taker with these interruptions, though. Definitely didn't want that. Got a jab. Should be able to finish Doink without too much effort here. Too much of an issue. I'll keep Razor outside here for the purpose of this. Did not want that. Did not want that. Can I kill him from here, please? Pretty low on health. Oh, boo. Dropped it. Whew. I don't know how I got away with that. Cool. That was close. That was real close. Tightened up like a drum. Alright, on to our final boss, the WrestleMania Challenge. Here we're going to be fighting 8 enemies in a row. All 8 that we've fought so far. There's actually a pretty interesting structure for this on the PS version. Specifically the fact that the 4th character we fight is... Well, first of all, I'm getting comboed into oblivion. That sucked. Hopefully I can get some fast kills here. Anyway, the 4th character that comes in is always your double. And that's for memory reasons. Like, this character coming in is just going to be the second Doink. Boo. Yeah, Luger's going to be a pain here. Just going to get as much damage as it'll let me. Did not want that. Just looking for Joy Buzzer, but okay. Okay, Brett's going to join me. Now what it's going to do is with the last 4 characters, it has to load them because it's the PlayStation. I never minded this. It is annoying, sure, but I mean, it's the PlayStation. It also gives you quite a bit less of a surprise to who you're going to have to deal with because it tells you who's coming in. That was terrifying. That was like a missile. That dropkick was just from RKOville, straight out of nowhere. Who wants some? Okay. Sometimes you just got to pressure. Drop the button. Go again. Much like the arcade version, for each kill you get in the WrestleMania Challenge, you do get a little bit of health back, so that will help us after that opening Donnybrook that we had to eat. Special move input timing is also a bit stricter on PlayStation, I've noticed in my practice, because what happens for me is instead of ending a move with by pressing the button at the same time, what I usually have to do is delay the button press. I don't know why that is, but it's what I got used to playing this game when I was like 12 and 13. But then once I learned the arcade version a bit more exclusively, that kind of just all went away. So playing this again does feel almost foreign, not quite. So Sean shouldn't take much finish off from here. Gonna be fighting Yoko inside the ring. I definitely do not want to fight the last opponent outside the ring if I'm down around. In a WrestleMania challenge, you only have to be pinned once to lose. Alright, that'll do it. Time's gonna be on congratulations. Get there very fast there compared to Arcade. That's gonna do it. That's a massive PB for me too. I think my best run last week was like a 15 something, so that's really cool. Unfortunately, on the PlayStation version, they also omitted the really cool fan fiction endings that every character gets. Real bummer. Like, huge, huge bummer. But it's memory reasons. What are you going to do? Of course, this will take us back to the character select screen, and we can play with a different character now. Saved up for a little bit of that time that I lost on Tekken 3, so that's cool. Actually, it just had my estimate lowered again today. Anyway, thank you all for the GGs. Very glad I had a good showing of this for the first time ever playing on this console. Get real.